Coach Chris Bono, welcome to Meeting of the Minds.
What's up, man? Hope you're doing well.
Good, good. How are you?
I'm doing great, brother.
Nice, nice. What's been up? What phase are you guys in Wisconsin? I know we just started phase 1 in New York City.
We're starting phase that we need to get out of the house and get rolling. That's the phase we're in. No, we just started phase 2 Tuesday.
Yeah, I hear you. That's that's the right phase.
Right? I hear you. I hear you.
What's been up with the team?
Oh, man, nothing. We just been hitting the Zoom calls with them and trying to keep everybody positive. You know, it's everybody's ready to get to work. You know, they've had their time off, and it's just the uncertainty of when we're getting back is really killing everybody.
Yeah, I hear you. You know, the more and more you talk to people, people are sick and tired of the garbage. We're ready to get back to, living.
Yep.
Doing our thing,
Yep.
doing what we do.
It's the uncertainty, man, I think is what's hurting everybody, you know. We need to get answers, you know, and I think once we have answers, even if they're not the answers we want, we have answers, we have certainty, and it's and we can move on.
Yeah, I know it is the uncertainty, but what do you tell them mentally to deal with the uncertainty? I guess just control what you can, right?
Yeah, you know, that statement I think is getting overused a lot, right? Control
It
what
is.
you can control.
It
I
is.
think we're overusing it. I think there's got to be some action taken, right?
Sure.
Everybody says control what you control, but what kind of action are you taking to control it?
Yeah. Is it good
You
action?
know,
Is it productive action? Is it ineffective action? Is it suboptimal? Is it optimal?
Exactly. You know, so
Yeah, get specific.
I'm starting to get away from the control what you can control thing, and you know, it's more like take control of what you want to accomplish. Control, if that makes sense.
Yep. No, absolutely. That's why we started calling it the predator mindset, because every coach says the other. Exactly.
That's right. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So, talk to us about what are the key philosophies at Wisconsin. What separates Wisconsin from the rest of the world?
Man, we got our key philosophy, our hustle, effort, and attitude. I know you had Coach Reeder on here, and I'm sure he talked about that. But you know, we talk about the hustle, effort, and attitude in daily life. You know, it's not just wrestling, right? It's your academic life. It's your social life. But you know what? We take it a step further. It's how your family. You know, if you wake up every day with that mindset, you know what I mean? It'll make you a better husband. It'll make you a better father. You know, it'll make you a better friend. You know, and I think the whole world could take a little bit of that lesson right now in that hustle, effort, and attitude with the way we treat people.
That's for sure. That is for sure. That is absolutely true. So, I mean, a great coaching staff, obviously. Great wrestlers over there. You know, talk about what kind of kids you're looking to recruit. I know we spoke about this with Hal already, but still, let's hear your take on it.
Yeah, no, we are at a great institution. The University of Wisconsin is an unbelievable institution academically. You know, and so we want kids that have some academic goals. You know, we can't just have a kid that thinks he's going to show up and just be a wrestler. That's not what, first of all, that's not what the school's about. And second of all, it's not what our athletic department's about. And I know a lot of people say that, but that's the truth. If you've got high academic goals, this is the place for you. We have an outstanding university. We have an outstanding wrestling program. We've got an outstanding athletic program. So if you want the all-around experience, and what people forget is Madison is just an unbelievable town that has something for everybody.
Oh yeah, I visited there probably, I guess 3 years ago at this point. It was really nice. Drove around the campus. It was great. Great college town. Great little shops. And it was nice. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. We had our main street, or our state street, got kind of ruined. We had some protests, and you know, everything's boarded up now, and it's kind of sad to see. But I know we'll respond, and it'll get cleaned up. And you know, there's no doubt about it. We are probably the best college town in America. I'd put this place up with anything in the country.
That's awesome. And what's the breakdown for like by state? What percentage would you say is Wisconsin versus out of state
on our team?
Yeah.
You know, we're struggling a little bit in state. You know, when we first took over the program, we really kind of didn't have many in-state guys on the team. You know, and that's been a real focus on us. And you know, in these next couple of recruiting classes, there's some studs coming out of Wisconsin. So I don't know the real breakdown, to tell you the truth, but we do want to seal the borders. Everybody's been in here picking off some people. You know, Purdue's been in here, Minnesota's been in here, Missouri obviously has been in here. We don't want anybody in here anymore. And that's been a real focus of from day one when we first got the job.
That's right. Yeah, you pretty much hear that almost all the programs. They want to just either, building a wall around Wisconsin. I know at Rutgers they say building a wall around New Jersey, and so on and so forth. Right. So, yeah, no, absolutely. It's great. And it's great to see the guys staying in state and really, following it all the way through. We've had a lot of Wisconsin guys over the years. Yeah.
That's right. Well, I think that's how you build a program, man. We did it at South Dakota State. We built it on some South Dakota State kids and some very, very local Minnesota kids and very, very local Iowa kids. And you know what? That's why we were able to pack that gym. That's why we were able to raise a ton of money was they want to support the local kids. And, that's what we want to do here. But we also want to win national championships. And we know that you got to go outside the state to bring in those number one ranked kids in the country and a lot of top kids. So I think we're doing a great job of keeping the kids in state and going out and snagging the best kids out of state.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just saw, is this Gimp who jumped on? I thought, because I was thinking about Lehigh. I was thinking Lehigh is engineers, University of Pennsylvania has business. What are some of the top curriculums or majors that are at Wisconsin? I know almost all of them, but what are some of the key ones?
Yeah, I'll tell you, our business program is second to none. We have the 5th best business school in the world.
It's a big deal.
It's amazing. It's a huge deal, and it is absolutely amazing. Seth Gross is going to finish up his master's. He got into the School of Business for his master's program. He's finishing up there. Johnny Sebastian was in there in the master's program. Yeah, and they can't speak highly enough of how great their experience has been and what it's leading to for them. So very, very excited about our academics here. And engineering is another real good program here. We've got a very, very cool engineering program, and it's really neat when we take our kids around campus to meet our academic people. I walk through the engineering department, second to none, man. Unbelievable what we have going on here in engineering.
Awesome. Now talk about your journey from wrestling to coaching. What was your mindset? What were some of the things that motivated you? And also, what were some of the things that you did maybe to prepare to keep yourself in your optimal mindset? What did you need to do for yourself?
I tell you what, Coach Bobby Douglas was my guy. And basically, something that stuck with me and it sticks with me forever is before you even lace your shoes up, right? But you have to make sure that you can look yourself in the eye, or you can tell yourself that you deserve to win. All right? And if you can't tell yourself deserve to win, you probably don't deserve to win. And I know that I could never tell myself that I had deserved to win unless I did the work. And so that really motivated me was if I do the work, right? And doing the work is really your own definition. What does doing the work mean for you mentally, right? And for me, it was being one of the best shaped guys in the country, being the last guy to leave that wrestling room, being on your off day, getting a good drill in or a video session or doing something. I was a 24/7 guy, 7 days a week. I had to do something every single day to be able to, when I put my foot on the line, to be able to say, you deserve to win. And that was the last thing I said to myself before I went out in my matches. Now, that was the only downfall is you really got to believe in what you're doing. I would get my butt kicked in some practices for 4 or 5 days in a row, right? But I would hop back up, do my sprints at the end of practice, get my extra lift in, do this, do that. And even though I had bad practices, I deserved to win. I still deserve to win. I just wasn't able to execute that day. I still deserve to win when I put my foot on that line. And you know what? To this day, when I'm out here running and we're running around the neighborhood at this age I got, right? I still that flashes through my mind. I want to stop. I want to stop and walk a little bit, right? Because I can now. You know what I mean? But that you deserve to win, and I keep going. And it pushes me through it.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Big shout out to Bobby Douglas. Hopefully his health is doing well. I know huge influence on some of the top wrestlers. My coach in college, Zeke, obviously Kale's coach, your coach. So just an absolute legend in the sport. So yeah, we hope his health is doing well and everything. And definitely, like you said, deserving to win and putting in the work. I remember even back when I was presenting at the National Coaches Convention, probably back in 2012, 2013, you're up in the morning, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., still getting the run in, everyone's really, it's a vacation. We're down in Fort Lauderdale having a good time. And there's Bono with a great sweat just coming back from his run. So like we always say about a leader has to, where we got here, what happened? A leader needs to know the way, show the way, and go the way, right? And you've always exemplified, you've always walked the walk.
Yeah, and I think that's very important. I've always had examples in my life that I looked at, and that goes true for everything. Even when I made my first world team, or when I was an alternate, I was out in Colorado Springs, and I got to watch Terry Brands train when he was making the Olympic, when he made the Olympic team, and I got to be around him. Right, it was always by example. I always saw what was going on, and that was what I became as a coach. Is I told my guys this: everything that I've ever told you to do, or everything I've always asked you to do, I've either done myself or I would do. And I think that's very, very important. I really believe that's very, very important. And, because I've been through it, and, and I've got that in my staff right now. Reader wrestles every practice. Reader goes through every lift. You know what I mean? Reader goes on the diet that we tell the guys to go on the diet to see, to be with them and experience it and say, I understand how you feel, so really walking the walk and talking the talk, man, is what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Reader was awesome. And I think that, like, as a wrestler, a former wrestler anyway, yeah, when you see there was a coach that's been there and that has done it and that has that smash mouth grind mentality, guy like you, guy like Reader, and teammates, that's awesome. That's just a great thing. Like, you just have so much more, like, I'm going to do it. They did it. They're not BSing me. It's not like you're dealing with a coach who's out of shape, hasn't been there before. I just think that brings tremendous confidence, and you have to trust your coaches. I feel like a lot of times athletes don't trust their coaches enough. Talk about the importance of that.
Yeah. Especially in today's day, a lot of these kids think they know what to do, or they know how to do it, right? This is what we did in high school, or this is what my buddy's doing at this school, or this is why, today's kid will question you, right? They will question you until they get your trust. And that's not a bad thing, to tell you the truth. That's just today's kid. You basically have to show them, tell them, and show them again before they will actually believe you, right? And that's not a bad thing, man. Even though we get kind of, our generation guys, we kind of get mad at that because we should just be like, do it, you'll run through the wall. But these kids are not like that today, right? But once you show them and explain it to them and you give them the why and let them know the why and how we're doing it, right? At the beginning of practice, I remember if we ever asked Coach Douglas how much live we're doing at the end, we got kicked out of practice, right? Today, at the beginning of practice, I let them. They need to know what they're getting themselves into. That's just the way it is with these kids. And you know what? That's as coaches, we have to adapt. I'm really learning how to adapt. And we've changed our practice plans. We're changing practice times this year because we want our kids to trust us and listen to them. And this is what they're telling us. This is what they think will work better. Well, we'll give it a chance. Let's not that they're running the room or the team, but listen but listen to your team. And I think again in society right now we should be listening more. And I've really taken that my last couple of years here. We're listening more, understanding our kids' athletic needs, every academic needs, and listening to their philosophy on the sport and how they want to be trained.
Yeah, that's a huge point, Coach. And we always say that, like, of course, there is the authority structure in place. The coach is in charge. At the same time, as the athletes mature and they develop in their career, the coach is going to give them more, like, listen to them more and more of what they need. Talk about what are some of the things that your athletes have come to you with that you've tried to modify and kind of build in that maybe wasn't the way you did it.
Well, we're early morning guys. We've got these guys up and we're on the we're on the turf, we're in the weight room at 5:45 in the morning. And our philosophy behind that is we really developed it at South Dakota State because we had to have an advantage there. And we did it because it was hard, right? It's hard to get up at 5 o'clock when it's snowing out, walk across campus, get your shoes on, and then give us your best effort. Don't just be there to check the box, right? And really we're listening to our guys. Hey, I don't have class till noon. Why can't we do it at 8? Or why can't we, you ever thought about having wrestling practice at 9 or 10 in the morning? Why do we always have to practice at 3 o'clock? And you know what? They're right. I've had the same model, right? I've been following the same model as an athlete, as a coach for 20 years. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you what, as we've gone around the country, I'm looking at what other teams are doing. As we're competing, I see their board and what they're doing. And I'll tell you what, 90% of the schools that we wrestled this year, they're practicing at 10 in the morning. You know, and then they're coming back and getting their lift later in the afternoon, or they're rearranging. So, you know, and people seem happy. So we're gonna change it up this year. We're gonna try to go into we're gonna try to wrestle in the mornings. Sometimes we'll lift in the mornings. And I think just not having such a monotonous every day 5:45 and 3 o'clock practice will change things up and keep it fresh for our guys and keep them mentally fresh. And not that you keep them guessing, but at least changing up times and not being just on such a strict regimented schedule.
Yeah, that's great. And now with communicating with your athletes, is it normally, do you have them in like a one-to-one at your office, or is it more just as they tell you things?
Yeah, so communication for us is key. I don't like this group me, send a group text out to everybody, even though that's the way the kids want to be communicated with. You know what I mean? You could text a kid on the team, and he'll never get it. He'll tell you, oh, just direct message me on Instagram. That's how I want to be communicated with.
Right.
We
see that constantly. I could testify to that.
Right. I don't check my text messages or phone calls, just my IG direct messages, and I'm dumbfounded. You know what I mean? Even text messaging. I had to adjust with text messaging, you know, back in the day. But you know, the way we communicate with these guys, and they know it, is we have we call it our compound. It's our facility. Our guys are in our area, right by our offices, all day long. You know what I mean? And there's guys in my office, whether it's to screw around with me, you know, to sign in for study hall, to sit there and eat lunch, to do whatever they want to do. They're in there all the time. So sometimes it's one-on-one. Sometimes guys don't feel comfortable coming in, you know, and voicing their concerns or positive things. So they bring 2 or 3 guys in there, and we communicate like that. It's an open door policy, and I see them all every day. So it's a great little deal.
That's great. Have you heard anything about when things are going to open up? What does it look like for you guys over there?
No, I'll tell you, it's getting closer. Our football team is back. They're there this week, running through their COVID tests, getting quarantined, and then they start on the 15th, lifting and doing their voluntary stuff. And then I think they're going to bring back both basketballs in a week or so, and then both hockeys. And then I think after that, once they know the protocol works, once they know our system works and we're not having 20 positive tests, or, you know, and we're getting through this, I think we'll be back here. But by the time that happens, I'm thinking August, right? And, you know, that's kind of time to start relaxing. I don't know if I want to start training them in August, because then the season just gets longer by that much.
Yep.
Back by August, and we can get them up and going and see what happens.
Coach?
I can't hear you,
Got
brother.
me?
Now I do. There
How about
you go.
now?
Now I got you. Yep, now I do.
All right. Your expert opinion on energy
I can hear you
management
now.
when athletes are at a 1-day tournament versus a 3-day tournament. What should they be doing? What should they be telling themselves? How do they rest and recover? What do you tell your athletes? What did you do?
Yeah, when those you know, we're big into staying in your bubble. You know what I mean? I think today's kid is, they want to win their wrestling match and then go, and they want to win their wrestling match and then go sit in the stands and hang out with mom, dad, girlfriend. You know what I mean? And then, oh, I'm up again. They think they can just focus and go there. We tell our kids, stay in a bubble, especially at the national tournament. Go win your match, put your sweats on, get back to that hotel and stay in your bubble. You know, and conserve your energy. Mental energy is a big deal. You can have mental. People don't realize sitting in the stands talking to mom, they don't understand that mentally it's wearing on you. When you can be back relaxing and doing the things that calm you down. You know, we've got some great, I'm looking at the word, we're doing a lot of relaxation stuff, breathing techniques with our guy now. We have hired a full-time guy that's just taken over for our mental wellness. You know, not your sports psychologist stuff or right. We have a mental wellness training guy because it's so important that our guys understand how to relax and focus and breathe and stay in the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. How are they taking to it?
Well, it's great. We had a couple of sessions last year, and then we just hired them full time now. So we're going to use them at least once or twice a week. You know, as a practice. You know what I mean?
That's phenomenal.
Right, as we add in a yoga session or as we do something, right? We haven't quite worked it out. He's going to be in there going over with them, breathing strategies and things of, mental wellness.
That's tremendous. And I like how you're integrating it throughout the week. It's not just like, oh, hey, if you have a problem, go and see this guy. It's proactive and it's done on a regular basis. A lot like your strength training.
Right. Because you know what? When you ask a kid, right, kids could be suffering, and it could be in any area, strength and conditioning, wrestling. When you say, hey, go get an extra lift in on Wednesday, right, it might not happen. Imagine if you say, hey, go meet this guy up there for some mental wellness training. I'd rather go play Fortnite. You know what I mean? But now we're not that we're forcing it on them, but it's going to be a part of practice. And the guys that take it serious, it's going to be an outstanding thing.
Yeah, and I actually don't have a problem with forcing that on kids because it's just almost every coach or athlete will say wrestling's at least 50% mental. And then when you ask them about their training, they're not putting any time in on their mindset. So I have no problem with dictating that and saying, hey, just like you have to run sprints at the end of practice, you have to do the mindset training because we've deemed this is an important area of the sport. So I don't think there's anything wrong with pushing it a little bit on the kids. And they usually tend to appreciate it because they see how much it helps them.
100%. I agree, man. When you look at a kid, we'll turn around on the bench and look around and be like, hey, you think he's ready to go? We'll look at our guy and he looks scared. He looks nervous and he's staring to the right. He doesn't understand. He's not in the moment. All he's thinking about, right, I got to go win, or my stomach's upset, or I'm nervous, right? Imagine if you focus throughout that week on our mental training and understand how to overcome the fear of anxiety and, the fear of failure and what your mind is thinking and what's racing and, you know what I mean? And again, it goes back to what I used to say, right? I don't think I had formal mental training when I was training, but I had the one key thing that brought my anxiety, that brought my nervousness to a head, and that was I deserved to win, and that was what brought me into the moment before that calmed me down.
Right, and we say that all the time. It's just like how some athletes are naturally stronger than others, or some athletes are naturally faster or more athletic than others. Some athletes naturally have their mindset together a little bit more than others. So that's okay. Anything that could be unlearned can be learned. So anything you don't have, you could figure it out. So it's just a phenomenal thing that you're doing over there with them. I think that'll pay dividends, and the kids will be appreciative when they get into the biggest matches of their lives. Just like when you have them do suicides at the end of the practice or one more live match, they don't want to do it. They're complaining, but they do it, and then they're happy they were in shape once they go out there and win.
That's right. That's right. Everybody, you're exactly right. We had a couple of kids that were All-Americans a couple of years for us that basically right after they became All-Americans and they calmed down and they were celebrating, they came back to that night session and they basically looked and said,
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks for making me do the work.
Right. Nobody looks back and says, I wish I was less disciplined. I wish I didn't work so hard. I wish I didn't organize myself.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Awesome, Coach, man. You're someone who I really look up to and someone who I really wish that I could have competed for, and I wish my brothers could have competed for. I love what you're about. I love what Wisconsin's about. How do we send more people your way? How do we get people from the East Coast over there and around the country over to you?
Well, we're on it. We're on it. Obviously we got Johnny Sebastian, that came out from Jersey. We got Joe Zargo, that committed to us. And then, we're working on some other things. We're on the East Coast, man. We love Coach Bell there. Out of Bergen Catholic. We love what everybody's doing out there. Tell Goody I'm coming into his backyard and we're going to start grabbing more Jersey kids. That's for sure.
So a healthy competition is a great thing. And Bergen Catholic's right across the Hudson River from me. I'm looking at the Hudson right now. Johnny Sebastian, we're Bergen Catholic frequently. I talked to them the other night, the team. That's great, Coach. Websites, YouTube page, or whatever you guys have. Where can we send them?
Man, I don't know. I don't know what we got, right? We got
Twitter, Instagram.
Our Instagram, at Badger Wrestling's our Instagram. We're Twitter, at Badger Wrestling's our Twitter too. So I think we're all mainstream with the same name. We're excited. I appreciate you having me on and giving us a little platform to talk about our program. And you guys are doing an awesome job.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Coach. Any links you want me to attach? I'll throw it in the video. We'll pump it out on YouTube. We're happy to co-promote it and blow it up. Love what you do, Coach. Thanks a lot for everything.
Everything with Badger Wrestling on it, and tag that Seth Gross guy. He's the one that's got like 1 million followers. He'll be able to get all of it out there.
Will do. Hey, that's important. We understand how it works, so we're happy to do it for you. And let us know if you need anything else. Thanks a lot, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right, man. You have a great night, buddy.
Take care. You too.
Okay, take care.
Bye.